If you're waking up tired, even after a full night of sleep, I'm going to show you exactly why your energy is crashing and how to actually get it back without needing caffeine, TRT, or some other crazy supplement stack. So I've worked with over 1,200 men, UFC athletes, CEOs, high performing men who just provide for everyone around them. But secretly, they feel like they're just burning out, they're running out of fumes. I'm talking about guys who are super disciplined, they're structured, even they're training pretty consistently, yet they still feel like things are feeling foggy, sluggish, like their body is not actually working with them, right? They wake up and they don't feel like they're the best version of themselves. So if that's you, here's the truth. You're not tired because you're getting older. Honestly, there's tons of guys out there that are like 60, 70, and they're freaking optimized. They're running, they're like skiing, they feel way more energetic than you. You're tired because your body's misfiring, and no one's really shown you how to reset this. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through 3 of the most common reasons why high achieving Asian men, they wake up exhausted. And what are the actual patterns that they actually do so that you can actually feel sharper, more focused, and in control again? So, by the way, if you want a free guide on the 12 best supplements for energy and recovery and performance, just hit me up on Instagram, DM me the word energy on Instagram, and we'll send it over for you completely free. It's my gift for you to really just get started on this journey. So reason number one as to like why people are able to not feel that great even though they're sleeping is simply because you're not recovering. Most guys assume that being in bed for 7 hours is good sleep. It doesn't. If your nervous system is stuck in overdrive, your cortisol level is literally through the roof, there's no way your body is going to recover from this. One of the ways that we really look to optimize things is really looking at something called HRV, heart rate variability. Heart rate variability is something that we even use at the UFC all the time. I remember one of the top athletes in the whole UFC at that time, he actually contributed his performance and his training in the octagon really linked to HRV. And what we actually did for these guys were, by the way, they trained a lot, 5 days a week. But the thing that really set them apart was how can you actually maximize your training time using HRV? The reality is this: if you're already optimized in your training, but your central nervous system is firing on all cylinders, that means your HRV is trending low. Basically, think about HRV as the opposite of your heart rate. If your heart rate is very high, it means you're in a pretty stressed environment. Your heart rate's literally going up here, right? Your CNS is firing. There's no way you're going to be optimized. That means your HRV is going to be tanking down. For an athlete where their HRV is tanking down, the one thing you can do is really focus on not hitting your PR that day, but focusing on recovery. And if you're able to do this and actually train based off your HRV and actually know how to manage your HRV, this is going to help you with performance in all aspects of your life. It's not just training that way you're going to feel a lot better. It's going to be you actually getting work done. Because imagine this, like imagine your HRV is completely low. It's on this like downward trend. It's like 20, right? And it's not, you're not performing well. How can you actually go to a meeting and crush closing these deals, having these huge presentations? You're going to be wired on caffeine. It's just, that's exactly what actually happens for a lot of people. As soon as we start to look at HRV and how can you start to trend this in an upward direction, what are the type of training routine? What are your recovery aspects? Like, what do your food look like? What are all these ways you can manage your stress, your cortisol levels? When you can actually do this, man, it's a completely different ballgame. Just imagine this. What if you could literally wake up tomorrow and instead of being really, really tired as soon as you wake up, you're optimized. You can do 3 times more things than what you normally do right now. Just think about what you would actually be able to accomplish. That's what is literally potentially you're missing out on. That's your opportunity cost for not optimizing your recovery and your HRV. Your brain is still running on all these crazy to-do lists, these business decisions, even when your eyes are completely closed. So instead of actually focusing on HRV or in deep recovery, you're just getting really surface level rest. So here's how you can actually fix this. Whatever you measure is what actually gets managed. So if you're not measuring the thing that actually matters, so HRV and sleep, there is no way you can continue to optimize this. Okay? One of the things that you can do to increase your HRV, I'm not going to just tell you about it and not tell you how to actually manage this, is improve your actual sleep. Okay? One of the best things you could possibly do for that, like the highest leverage thing, is sleep at the same time every single night. I know it's not sexy, like at all. Like it's the most unsexiest thing you could possibly do, but the highest leverage thing you could possibly do to increase your HRV. The second thing you can actually think about is having a wind down time. So for me, my wind down time, I sleep super early. I start to wind down at 9, right? I literally have an alarm go off on my phone, and it's like, all right, Dex, time to wind down, relax, listen to a podcast, you know, do my skincare routine, all that jazz. And then from here, you can even try to think about like nasal breathing while you're sleeping. There's other supplements that I would consider, okay? I would consider using something like magnesium glycinate, just helps you optimize the sleep that you currently have. So if you're sleeping for 7 hours, you're able to maximize the deep sleep in that time frame with this supplement. Okay. Other aspect that might actually help is also how well you can recover on like these active recovery days. So you can't just go hard every single day. Again, you need to be able to manage your HRV. If your HRV is now trending upwards, that is a PR day. That's when you really want to think about how can you integrate active recovery into your routine so that every single session that you have is completely, all the juice is completely squeezed out of this. So number 2 reason for a lot of these individuals why you feel tired all the time is simply because your stress hormones are completely on. They're always on. Like Asian men, especially high performers, we're kind of conditioned to just push super hard. You know, our default is don't complain, just grind, baby, just work hard. Put your head down, don't complain, don't rock the boat, just keep going. But what actually happens in that situation is cortisol just stays super elevated. Your sleep starts to suffer, your fat stays on your body, your energy levels crash. These are huge signs that your cortisol level is literally up to here. The other signs could also include randomly waking up at like 2 to 4 a.m., needing caffeine at like midday, otherwise you pass out, sudden afternoon crashes, so it's like 2 p.m. and you're freaking tired. So here's what we can actually do next. One of the first things you can do, and it sounds extremely counterintuitive, is start walking outside. You get literally bursts of energy from just moving your body, but you also get a lot more vitamin D. Hopefully you live in a place where it's a bit sunny. I live in Vancouver right now. It's not always sunny, but right now it's beautiful. But regardless, going outside is really going to help you get that immediate vitamin D and burst of energy. You're just going to feel a lot better. The other thing that you really want to consider is avoid doing crazy amount of high intensity interval training and like these crazy high intensity workout routines where you're going for 45 minutes. The reason why is because if your CNS is literally up here and you're doing an exercise routine for 45 minutes and you're just going up here the whole time, like what do you think is going to happen? You're going to overload and crash because your brain is like that. You can overstimulate your brain, right? So another thing you want to consider is actually incorporate strength training routine. It doesn't need to be super high intensity, high output side of things. It could literally just be like doing some compound lifts 3 times a week. This is going to increase your capacity. It's going to be one of the main levers to actually increase and reduce your actual stress all around. So when you're able to train your body to come down, the energy levels really just come back. Okay, so reason number 3. The reason why you feel a lot more tired is simply because you're out of alignment with who you are. And this one actually hits really deep. You feel tired because you're not living like the man you used to be. When you look in the mirror, and this is going to hit super hard for some of you guys, you look at yourself and you're not happy. You're not happy with this version of yourself. You're just scraping by and you know you can do more. It's not that you're super overweight. Yeah, you just don't feel like you're the best version of yourself. You're not showing up for the best version of your entire family. You're just not leading with your body anymore. And when you look at it, you almost feel not proud. It's your own body. Like it's the thing that you really get to have for the whole life, right? And when you stop leading your body, this is what actually happens. You start to drift mentally. You start to drift emotionally, even sexually, man. And I've just seen this time and time after again. Guys, as soon as they hit 40 years old, man, they just get comfortable. They blame their kids. They're like, hey, I got kids right now. I can't, I don't got time. I gotta travel. I got work things. Like, the reality is this: you're just using them as a crutch. You are not taking ownership for yourself. And the reality is that the hardest reality is this: you say you have other priorities and you're doing it for other people, but in reality, you're hurting them. How are you hurting them? Because right now, every single thing that you do, your kids are looking at. Your habits, your discipline, how you show up around them, how present you are, how you treat your wife, how you respond to things. Are you reactive? These are the things that they're going to really embody for the rest of their life. Generational. It's a generational thing. You ever look at a family and they're all overweight? The kid is not going to be super fit. It's just not going to work that way. If your family is overweight, the likelihood of your kid being overweight is extremely high. So what you're doing right now is if you don't think that you're providing for them, this is all you're doing right now is just working for them, well, you're not. You're just doing yourself a huge disservice for yourself, but more importantly for your family. So this is what you really need to do. And this is a really, really hard kind of I'm saying this to you on YouTube right now, but the reality is this, guys. You need to recommit to your physical standards. You need to train with purpose. You need to keep promises that you make to yourself. You need to feel yourself like your energy actually matters. And when you look in the mirror and you see someone sharp, composed, strong, powerful, dependable, that changes everything. And everything else will operate at the same frequency. You cannot be at here mentally and then physically you're here. And spiritually you're here. Financially you're here. It doesn't work that way. You can't. You're going to feel so out of line. Things will come in abundance and higher frequency when everything else elevates that. This is how it is. Right? The world is going to filter out based off what you see and how you respond and all your habits. So, guys, just to let you know, you're not broken. You're just getting soft because of age. Your body's just been whispering to you for years, and you've been too busy providing to listen. But now, it's freaking screaming at you. And the fastest way to fix it is not motivation, guys. It's structure. It's nervous system alignment, and it's reclaiming the edge that you used to feel without sacrificing the life that you built. Okay, now that you understand why waking up is super tired, in the next video, I'm going to show you why fat isn't dropping even if you're training super hard and eating super clean. So you can hit that right there, hit subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one, guys.